Hello, fishing guys and fishing girls. Kel Kellogg here. I am up in the High Sierra today. I'm at a High Sierra reservoir. The good news is it's the dark of the moon. The bad news is it's August 1st, and this is, the dog days of August. You can still catch plenty of fish, but the best fishing is going to come in the fall. This is kind of the time of the year when the trout are settled into a pattern, they're settled into a comfortable depth range, they have cool water, they have all the food they want, and they're full. So you really got to tempt them. You got to really tease them into biting. You got to give them something pretty compelling to get them to go. Having said that, I expect to catch some nice fish today. Let me show you what I'm pulling. And what I'm pulling is always based on intel. Here's what I'm going to start out with. This lake has pond smelt, a few, has crawfish, and it has a big insect population. For that reason, I'm going to start off with a Trout Trix worm in the bait fish color. No blades, no flashers, no nothing. Just the action disc. Target speed today, 1.8 to 2.2. Might slow down a little bit. The reason being is I know these fish have all they want to eat. I'm trying to imitate a pond smelt, but I want a lure with a ton of action that's going to stay in the strike zone for an extended period of time. Number one rod, going to run this off the downrigger. Surface temperature here, first thing in the morning, it is 7:30 in the morning. 70 degrees on top. So I'm probably going to have to drop down 25 to 30 feet. I suspect that's where the trout are hanging out. I am going to fish some near shore deep structure, but I'm going to concentrate my efforts, at least to start off with, right over the main river channel. In this lake, the main river channel goes right down the center of the reservoir, maximum depth about 120 feet. So I'm going to stay in that area. The logic being that's where the coolest water is, that's where the trout have the most security. They're able to drop down into deep water and feel real comfortable. So again, number one offering, bait fish colored Trout Trix worm, rigged on 8-pound test fluorocarbon leader material. Fish on, right there. I was market fish at 40, so I dropped it down to 35, and within a minute, I hooked up. Doesn't feel like a monster, but who knows? Hooked up. Feels good to say hooked up, I'll tell you what. Oh man. Oh, nice fish. Nice rainbow. I better get my net ready. I better get ready. Oh, nice rainbow. Oh, what a stud. Nice fish. Right there in the sack. Ba-bam! Oh, that's a nice fish right there, guys. Trout Trix worm. Write that down. Trout Trix worm. One of the most effective trout baits I've ever pulled. It is just straight money. Okay, that fish came off the hook. Now that fish, he just came up. He nipped at it several times. I saw it on the rod tip. Let me show you this fish. He's feeling his oats right now. Come here, you. Come here, you. I'm gonna let you go. Look at that, guys. Beautiful high country rainbow. Let's get him revived and get him back in the lake so we can catch him again later. Surface temperature, not terribly warm today, but I want to give these fish a chance to revive. He was down at, dang near 40 feet deep. So, get him revived. Get him back in action. There he goes. He's trying. There he goes. Go on, get out of here. I love it. Woo! Okay. Let's get regrouped here. Check out my worm. See if my worm is still functional. Probably have to straighten him out just a bit. No, not really. See, that guy was very subtle. He was just interested enough to come in nipping at the tail of that worm, and he got a hook in his lip. As soon as I got him in the net, hook out, fish off. So that worm did its job. It stayed in the strike zone. It titillated that fish. You don't hear that word a lot in fishing videos. And he nipped it just enough to get hooked. Awesomeness. Oh yeah, people always ask me, how far back was that? That was 60 feet behind the kayak. Do I need to be back 60 feet when I'm 40 feet down? Probably not. I could probably get by with 40 feet. But that was 60 feet back, 40 feet down. And that's always a good rule of thumb when you're running downriggers. It's all about multiples of 100. If you're going down 40, go back 60. If you're going down 50, go back 50. 50 and 50 equals 100. If you're going down 10, get back 90. 90 and 10, you know what I'm talking about. So that's kind of the recipe with downriggers. I'm at 67 right now because I was talking, but we're gonna run with that. That sounds lucky to me. We'll grab the line, put that in there. I got the clicker on with the reel out of gear. Now, if I was on the power boat, I would thumb that down, but I'm not on the power boat. I am in the kayak, so put that line in the clip, and here we go. So, there's 10, 20, 30, and 1, 2, 3, 4 cranks. That's where I was when I caught that fish. We'll replicate that, although I have a nice fish down there at 60 right now. But we'll stick with that depth. Pull this down. Click her off. We are ready to yell, "Fish on!" We'll see if we can make it happen. We'll come back around and we'll go right through that same area because I marked several fish on that pass. Hook up, guys. I dropped down to 50 feet and I hooked up right away. Seeing marks at 50. Actually, I dropped down to about 47 and instant hookup. So, you know, the sonar unit doesn't lie. You always want your bait above the main biomass of the fish. But if you're trolling at 35 and you're marking fish at 50, you can drop it down to 45, 47, something like that. I dropped it down and instant results. So I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. This fish is feeling heavy now. Didn't feel like much when he was down deep. He was down there in his comfort zone, but now I'm bringing him up into this warmer water, and he's not super happy about it. He's hefty. Gotta be getting close. Not sure how far back he is because I hit the line counter on the reel, so I can't really see how much line I have out. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, nice big fish. Oh, brown trout. Nice brown. Awesome. Guys ask me, does the Trout Trix only catch planted fish? Absolutely not. It catches trout of all shapes, sizes, wild, planters, holdovers. They don't plant browns in this lake, guys. This is a brown trout, a beautiful fish. He chomped on that Trout Trix in the minnow color. I matched the forage. They eat pond smelt here, so I put on that pond smelt colored bait and got him good. He gave himself a piercing here. We'll figure this out. Let's see. What did you do to yourself, buddy boy? There we go. Right through the corner of the mouth. He's fine. Whoa. Uh-oh. Fish loose in the boat. Fish loose in the boat. We're going to have to revive this guy. Nice little high Sierra brown trout. Look at that square tail. Let me get him in the net here, and we'll get him revived and get him on his way. Okay, let's get out a brand new, fresh Trout Trix right there. Okay, now I'm feeling like, some days I feel like it doesn't matter because the fish are charging and being real aggressive on that worm. But today I feel like I really want to get that hook point well back in the bait, because I had that rainbow who fell off the hook in the net, and I had Mr. Pint-sized brown trout there that took a swipe at that, and he got it right in the corner of the mouth. That's another hookup that I think was just a nip. I saw a few bumps on the downrigger. I sped up, I slowed down, and only then did I think that I had the fish on the hook. So I think he was messing around with that worm for a second before he got the hook. But again, sound like a broken record. That is the beauty of the Trout Trix. I mean, it catches all different sorts of trout, whether they be wild, planters, ex-planters, whatever. And it catches trout that are really in a neutral mood. It stays in that strike zone, and it's a bait that you can rig such that the hook is right at the back of the bait. If you're out trolling grubs, you're getting a lot of short strikes, that's telling you that they're grabbing the tail. They're not super aggressive, they're just grabbing the tail. It's time to put the grub away and get out the Trout Trix worm, because you can get that hook. I mean, I'm within probably 3/8 of an inch of the end of the bait. So just something to know. When the fish are in a neutral mood, and you're going to see a lot of that in August, when the fish are in a neutral mood, it really, hook position really matters. Okay, a soft bait like this, they'll hit it multiple times, they'll stay with it. If you're running a spoon or a plug or something like that, you can catch fish on it, but if they hit that spoon one time and they don't get hooked, it's bye-bye, baby. They know, man, that thing's fake. That's a piece of metal. It's not anything to eat. They're not scared of it. It's just not on the menu. I'm not going to hit it again. But with your soft baits or with a natural night crawler, the gulp stuff like that, they're going to continue hitting that bait because it tastes real, it feels real, and it has real movement through the water. So if you want to catch hard to catch trout, hard to hook trout, get some Trout Trix worms, get some Trout Trix minnows, put in a little time with them, learn the secrets of trolling them. It's really pretty simple, man. Just run that action disc just off the nose of the bait, rig it with the bobber stops. There's tutorials on our website on how to do it, tutorials on the YouTube channel about, you know, how to rig them, how to fish them. Keep your speed anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5. You got a broad speed range, and the worm is going to do the rest. They're catching fish all over the western United States, in Germany, on the East Coast, Australia, Canada, wherever trout swim, they are susceptible to the seductiveness of the Trout Trix worm. I'm going to get this thing down in the water and see if I can hook another fish. I'm going to see if I can. Fish on, guys. Woohoo! Oh, this one's kind of feisty. This one's real feisty, guys. Awesomeness! I'm greedy. I'm fighting a fish and I see more fish on the sonar and I want to catch them too. But like one thing at a time. Oh, he's jumping. We don't like that. I'm going to dip the rod tip here. See if I can get him down. Come on now. Oh, he's jumping like crazy back there. Please don't jump off the hook. Is this a rainbow or a brown? I didn't mark any fish on that one. I was coming over to say good morning to my friend Joey and just randomly hooked up. Oh, nice rainbow. Nice rainbow. Oh, he jumped out of the net. That was an amateur netting job at best. I deserve to lose that fish, but I'm not gonna. Well, I might. There we go. I got him. Ha ha. I was fishing like I never netted one before. Oh my. That fish is barely hooked. They're just nippity nippers in that, guys. And that Trout Trix is getting it done. Fine. Big chunky rainbow. Nice fish. Woohoo! Okay. For those of you that watch the channel on a regular basis, I'm going to sound like a broken record again. I am not exploring anymore. I found an area that's holding fish, and I keep coming back to that area, coming back to those marks. I can go on a tour of the lake later today or at a later date. Right now, I've got an area that's producing fish. There's a lot of fish showing on the sonar. Try to say that a couple times. So I am content to stay in this area and keep my bait in the strike zone. I'm not going to leave these fish until they give me a reason to leave. I'm either going to stop seeing marks on the screen, or the marks I see on the screen are going to stop responding to my bait. I already know what they're willing to hit. Right out of the box, I had the right bait on. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're catching fish here, don't go over there. Stay over here, right? Pretty simple stuff. Now I'm seeing some marks, so I'm starting to zigzag and make S-turns. That's going to vary your speed, and it's going to cause your offering to move up and down a little bit in the water column. It's just that little extra bit of attraction that I can integrate right there. Got hit. As soon as I get hit, I get right on the pedals. There we go. I got it. I think I got him. It's staying down like I got him. Oh yeah, I got him. It takes a second to reel up that slack. Why did I speed up? I was actively trying to hook that fish. He was biting. I sped up, and I was trying to get the hook in him. I was trying to set the hook with the pedals. Now, it's hard to do that out of a power boat, but man, if you're fishing out of a kayak, that is an effective way to go, guys. I hook a lot of fish with the pedals. A lot of head shaking going on down there. Just starting to mark multiple fish. I started zigzagging a little bit, and literally 15 seconds, fish on. He's 10 feet away, so I'm gonna get the net ready this time. Ooh, another big fish. Big chunky guy. A chunkarooski. I'm just gonna walk him right up here as much as possible. Oh, that's a big rainbow, and he is barely hooked. But he's in the nets. Ha ha! I like it. That's awesome. Well, I could easily lost that one because he was just barely hooked. Oh, he threw the hook. I hooked my sonar unit. I always tell my clients on the boat, if you're not tangled up, you're doing it wrong. Oh, this is a solid fish right here. Beauty. Big fat rainbow. We'll get him back in the net. Get him down back into the lake. Right there. Talk about a nipping bite. I hooked that guy with the pedals, and he was just barely skin hooked right in the top lip. It's fortunate to get that guy in. Remember, when you're fighting trout, you don't know where they're hooked. Everybody wants to hook them in the gristle. That's a good place to be. But just keep your rod tip low. Hopefully you can keep your rod tip low. If they start jumping, dip the rod tip. But beyond that, just a steady grind on the reel. Don't do any of that lifting and pumping stuff. If I'd have tried some lifting and pumping on that fish, it would have been bye-bye rainbow. So just a nice steady grind. Keep the rod tip loaded against the fish, and good things are gonna happen. This is especially important when you got a big fish on. You gotta wear that fish down. Just a nice steady grind, because again, you just don't know where the hook is positioned. If you got them in the good hard part of the mouth, you're not gonna lose them. But if you got them in the soft part of the mouth or just barely skin hooked, you got a good chance of losing them. There's a huge randomness to where you hook fish. Moving lure, moving watercraft, sometimes you hook them good, sometimes you just skin hook them. So it's up to you to keep that rod, just keep a nice smooth grind on the reel and keep the line tight. That's all you can do. If you do that, good things usually happen. Fish on, baby. There's that fish for the road. I did everything wrong, but he's still on there. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Wind is pushing me big time. That was 40 feet. I couldn't get it out of the clip, and then the wind started turning me, and it was utter chaos. We're in good shape now unless fish comes up. Let's see what happens. I gotta land my farewell fish, but I gotta stay on the pedals. The wind wants to turn me in, bow into the wind, and if that happens, the fish is gonna be in front of me, which is not where I want the fish to be. I want him to be, whoa! I want him to be behind me and not jumping like that. He's a jumping fool! He's still 25 feet away. Okay. Let's see if we can get this guy in. There we go, I got him. He must be hooked well, because that was not graceful, but hey, he's in the net. What can I say? Okay, now we're up. Oh, that's a heavy fish. Heavy, heavy, heavy. High country awesomeness, guys. Look at that fish. He's just a beauty. Well, folks, it has been a superb day here in the high Sierras. I got that fish for the road. I am super stoked about that. I have no idea how many fish I landed today, but I gotta say, #1 bait, especially this morning, Natural colored Trout Trix worm. Absolutely phenomenal fishing on that worm. This afternoon, a little bit slower bite, but we changed body shapes. We switched over to the Trout Trix minnow, and we got fish this afternoon too. I'm out of here. If you're looking for the worms, you're looking for the minnows, you know where to go. FHSfishing.com. Get them sent out to you quickly, and you'll be yelling fish on. They are absolutely game-changing baits. If you haven't tried them, I challenge you. Get yourself a kit of the worms. Get yourself a kit of the minnows. Review the rigging material we have on the website, or check out the channel. Get them in the water, and you are going to be pleased with the results, whether you're fishing for wild fish, planted fish, X-planters, big trout, small trout, pan-sized trout. They are fish-catching baits. They're soft, they're realistic, they get the job done. Thanks for all the support, guys. I'm out of here. I got to get on the pedals. Those guys are almost on the ramp. I got to get cracking here. I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube. I'm Kel Kellogg.